Oseo, and welcome back, family. You know what it is. It's another edition of Real Talk. Now, are you one of those who believe strongly that we should get reparations, that the U.S. government owes us something? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about today, and we're going to give you our view from our people's view.
That's right. Today, it's all about reparations. And trust me, you're not the only one who feels you've been wronged. You do deserve reparations. But how will you get reparations? That's what we should go over together as a collective. How we can get our reparations. What is the real reparations?
And what does reparations actually mean?
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, places like California and even Evanston, Illinois, has started to study reparations and even had talk about giving reparations to people.
Right. As a matter of fact, in Evanston, Illinois, they have something on the books whereas they will give reparations to people who have been discriminated against there in housing there in Evanston.
Yeah.
Now that opens it up for everyone, not just Neegies, but it also includes immigrants. That too is a form of reparations.
Yes, but the reparations that we're looking for is our land back, because a lot of our people feel that it was stolen from us, so we should get an apology for that. But I say you shouldn't be looking for an apology from the person who stole some from you. You should be trying to take it back, and we should be working on that take back.
Right. How can they apologize for disenfranchising our families, for stealing our land, for killing us, for renaming us and being prejudiced against us, discriminating against us time after time? You know, that's like looking a killer in the face and asking a killer to apologize for killing a family member or for ruining your life. It just doesn't happen.
But on a lighter note, let's talk about reparations.
Sure.
What does it mean? It is making amends for a wrong that has been done, paying money perhaps, or otherwise helping those who have been done wrong. Okay, that could be anything.
Okay.
You know, sometimes the courts require convicted offenders to pay financial
restitution to whoever they have harmed.
Sure, in the form of a reparation. The next definition was compensation of a war, a damage, some sort of payment paid by the defeated state. Now, when I read that, I was like, okay, a war. We talk about the American Indian War, the Civil War, a lot of wars that happened here on this soil that affected us directly. But they never take the defeated state point of view.
No,
the war is still going on.
Of course.
So they can't pay out for a war that they won't say that they lost. They keep lying about it. Okay. So the next definition, I was like, well, where did this word come from? It comes from the late Latin word repar. Okay, which means reparatio. And the old French English word translation to repair. So I'm like, repair, reparations, to repair, the action of repairing something. Okay, they can't repair us. Only we can do that.
That's right, only we can do that.
So what are we really asking for?
Right.
Collectively. That's what we need to determine. What are we asking for in this reparation? Leave the comment below. What are you asking for besides a quick check?
That's right. Because if you understand this fiat money, if you understand this currency, if you understand the way this government operates, it's just not happening. That $50 they give you today, it won't be the same $50 tomorrow.
Because of inflation.
Because of inflation. It will not replace the pain and the misery that all the years that they've been upon us. There's no way. And first and foremost, I think they'd have to admit that they were wrong.
That's what I mean about the war. They
Right.
won't even admit that they lost the war.
That's right.
That they called a truce. It was so many broken treaties. They didn't win the war. A treaty is basically a truce.
See, they couldn't beat us, so they had to rename us, relabel us.
And you know the old saying, if you can't beat them, join them.
And that's what a lot of trader Indians did. But a lot of Indians didn't join them. That's why we had so many places that were sovereign. So many of us were able to create and cultivate because we remained sovereign. We didn't expect any payouts. We didn't expect anything except for them to get out of our way, to leave us alone.
Like you said, everybody needs to get a gun, as far as I'm concerned, and start policing themselves. You know what I'm saying? We need to buy back our land.
That
Since
is
money
the
is
solution.
power,
That's
right
right.
now we need to start stacking our ducks, coming together, and buying some land. Each state is sovereign. You can buy enough land collectively
We can
and
collectively.
start your own town.
That's right. That's what our ancestors did.
Yes.
That's exactly what led to their greatness. Was they took it upon themselves not to ask the government for anything,
Even if it's
but
a few blocks.
to establish something. A few blocks grow into a few miles.
And you could have the next magnificent mile.
That's
but you
right.
got to start with the first block, the first plot of land. Now, some of you may say, well, why the hell we got to buy back the land if it's ours anyway? That's the way it's set up.
That's
the way
it
it's set up
is.
right now. Now we can fight the powers that be all day, but we end up exerting our energy. Let's use our energy to really affect some change.
Key words, using your energy. Remember, money is energy. That's why they call it currency. We tell you to take advantage of the things that we have now so that we can affect some sort of change. But the only change we can affect is if we all together affect that change together. If we're all on the same page.
The same wavelength, the
That's
same
right.
vibration. And that's the love vibration, in case you didn't know. That's the vibration that'll get you the money. That's the vibration that'll help you make the moves, that love vibration.
Identifying with yourself and your true power. Once you identify yourself for who you are, you're full of power. You can affect change.
You can deal with this world a lot better.
That's right.
All
Because
right.
we don't need anybody to give us anything.
No, but some people are still asking. So we have a video.
Okay.
We have a video for you. It's an interview with Pamela Harris, your current vice president. For those of you who like to vote, this is your vice president.
Give them a little bio on who she is.
A
What
quick
her
bio.
family, right. We always want to know where your family is from.
Where your mama from, where your daddy
Uh-huh.
from. Her mother is a Hindustan. That is what they currently call India today. Okay? She met her father at Berkeley. He's from Jamaica. Skin folk ain't always kinfolk. They were both indoctrinated at Berkeley in the Black History class or
yeah,
something.
that's where
when
they
they met.
in the 60s. And you know how political the universities were during the 60s and even now, because they're still pushing that agenda.
So then Pamela was born.
Camela, why didn't they just call her Camel from what it sounds like where she comes from?
Hey,
That's why we tell you, skin folk ain't always your kin.
Every bite is your perfect
We'll be right
bite.
back after
It's
these
almost
short
too good to
messages.
share. IA Total Split Cups.
Just landed. New sandals for summer. At DSW.
Black people.
Here we go, y'all.
And listen to this carefully, guys. This is a representative of the government. This is someone that you voted in, someone that you put your energy, your belief in, telling you exactly what she and the government will do for you.
Do you support reparations for Black people?
Well, listen. Again, we had over 200 years of slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century. We had legalized discrimination, segregation, and now we have segregation and discrimination that is not legal but still exists and is a barrier to progress. We have disparities around housing. We have disparities around education. We have disparities around income. And we have to recognize that everybody did not start out on an equal footing in this country. And in particular, Black people have not. And so we have got to recognize that and do something about that and give folks a lift up. That's why, for example, I'm proposing the Lyft Act. Give people who are making $100,000 or less as a family a tax credit.
What is this Lyft Act? Is she proposing having people picked up by Lyft? I mean, what lift us where? Lift us to do what? Yeah,
Continue on.
Which will benefit and uplift 60% of Black families who are in poverty.
So by default, it affects Black families, but there's not a particular policy for African Americans that you would explore.
But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit Black children, Black families, Black homeowners, because the disparities are so significant. So if we focus on the specific issues that have resulted in the greatest disparities, and we understand that that's part of why we're doing it. Listen, the reality also is this: any policy that will benefit Black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit Black people. No, because whatever benefits that Black family will benefit that community and society as a whole and the country, right?
Wrong. And let me make this perfectly clear. She wasn't talking about anything. In fact, she was dancing over the subject left and right.
There was a lot of double talk.
There was a lot of double talk. First, she says there are so many disparities that we can't even focus in on it. Yet she then says that she wants to focus in on certain disparities.
And then, but the interviewer was like, so this is gonna help us by default? And she's like, look, ain't not gonna be specifically for y'all.
That's
You got
right.
it twisted.
Uh-huh.
Look, man, at the time she was a senator. She is the vice president now. I don't have anything to say about any of those puppets in office because it is all for self-gain, not for the people. It never has been for the people.
Because
it wasn't created to be for the people.
This is not our government.
But in this country, you do have the chance to be sovereign. That's the thing. Because the government is so reckless and can't control even their own people,
That's right.
they can't control us.
That's right.
You have a choice.
You have a choice. And we need to collectively change things, and we can do that. If you understand that we undergird the financial system of this country, then you also understand that step by step, plot by plot, we can buy this land back. We can take our land back, but do it in a way in which we use their money. Their money. You know, a lot of you all, we understand.
Against them.
Against them.
Against them, but we have to do it collectively. Auntie and Uncle can't go buy one plot of land and start the Tim and Phoebe town, okay? But if Auntie, Uncle, Tim, Phoebe, and 5 other people did, then we could.
We could affect it.
We could start.
That's how we did it in the past. Remember? That's how we did it in the past. And see, the way she put it, like we've been disenfranchised ever since we've been here, wrong. This is our land. This is where we come from. When those exploiters first came over, before the government was started, we had paved streets. We had buildings. We had architecture. We had our own form of money and trading. It's time for us to get back to that. The solution is, instead of waiting selfishly for some individual payout, what we need to do collectively is all put ourselves on the same page. First, recognizing our identity. Our identity ties into the land in which we live. Our power, our strength is emitted from the land that we stand on. So anything that we choose to do, since we are the blueprint to the world, anything we choose to do, in a way, will be revolutionary. It will work. We have to get off of this dumb shit. We have to teach our children more. You know, they're the next generation. We have to take away that slave, that ignorant narrative that this government, that the Catholic Church has put upon us, and give them the real. We have a wonderful, fantastic history here on Turtle Island. This is our Garden of Eden. Before most of the world could even think about being civilized, we had a structure in which we were civilized, we were diplomatic, we were regal, we were clean, we invented things, we cultivated. That's why they never called us farmers. They always refer to us as cultivators. Mm-hmm. You need to cultivate your mind, your soul. Each one teach one, each one can help one. We can support each other. Mm-hmm. We cannot get support from the people who are holding us down. That's a pipe dream. That's as much as a dream as the transatlantic slave trade, you know, transporting millions of us and then mixing in with our people.
I want to know why these Africans were so horny. After going through all that shit, they came over here ready to have sex, huh, with the indigenous people.
Well, anyway, the point is, we don't want to get off subject, you know, but we don't need reparations. We need to take back our land.
We need self-repair.
We need self-repair. We need self-policing. We need to establish ourselves, not expect them to establish or recognize
validate us.
Or validate. So you're looking for some sort of validation, some apology when you want them. Give me something for what you've done to me. That's not how the game goes. They came here, stole this based on the goodness of our hearts. Okay? It's time for us to turn that around. We're still good to the soul. Mm-hmm. But it's time for us to fight fire with fire. It's time for us to come and have a bigger flame.
And that ain't overthrowing the government. That is self-governance.
That's right.
That is completely withdrawn from this system to the point where they're shaking in their boots. Because remember, you are the blueprint. You are the economy.
Right. Hey, the corporations are not worried about the government because they run the government.
You want to know why? Because they're getting all your dollars.
That's right. Follow the money trail. Make sure that the money trail comes back to you, that it starts first. We need to produce more businesses. You know, we can't necessarily do that in the ghetto, in the neighborhoods that they created for us to disenfranchise us. That's tainted.
Get out of there.
We need to start anew. In order to change ourselves, we have to change the environments in which we live in.
So, you know, should we take the midnight train back to Georgia?
Hey, if necessary.
Woo woo!
If necessary.
Get out of them cities, honey, because that's what you got to do. Do what you got to do. Stack your chips.
That's right. Hustle hard.
Hustle hard.
Whatever it takes. But just like the gangsters, hustle hard and legitimize yourself. Use what you've learned against them. Learn and earn is what we say all the time. That's right. You learn and you earn, and you don't take any shit from anyone.
Because real Nietzsche's reach to the stars to get theirs.
We have affected the world. We continue to affect the world. We are the blueprint. We are the originals. This is what the modern Nietzsche looks like
But
today.
you have to cultivate
That's right.
yourself.
Of course.
You have to cultivate your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You have to stop giving the first thing that they hand to you.
That's right.
Because let me tell you, if they decided to give reparations tomorrow, stop selling yourself short. Don't take it. Don't take it. Don't take it. If they giving you 50 grand, you deserve 100 grand.
You deserve $1 billion. There's no dollar amount that they can give us that will satisfy what our ancestors want us to take back our land. And the way we take back our land is we buy our land back. We set up our own schools, our own businesses. We learn. These states, each state is independent from another state. It's time for us to be like some of these states. Independent, creating our own laws, policing ourselves, creating our own economy, and teaching each other. There's no pulling up by the bootstraps. You know, that's a bunch of bullshit. That 40 acres and a mule shit, you know, that a lot of you all are still locked on, you know, hey, they owe us 40 acres, and they owe you
More than that.
more than that. And in fact, they don't owe you nothing, which you owe it to yourself to affect change, to take this back, to use the tools that you can gather now and take back what's ours. Take it back with pride. Take it back with strength. Stop being a whiny, I need, please give me a handout, do something for me. It's
Type of
time.
individual.
That's not what our people did. We always stood strong. We always.
But you know how?
Huh.
In numbers.
That's right.
Let's stand just like 2 is better than 1. Stand strong in numbers, collectively. You know what to do. Share this message.
Each one teach one.
We love you.
You know, comment.
Let us know, you know, and until the next episode, you know, this world, it ain't what you think it is.
No,
So stop going for the okie doke.
That's right. Create your own narrative today. Understand that everything is conceived in your mind. How you see your life is conceived in your mind. Don't let them hold you back. Don't have them have you waiting for something that will never come. Like Reverend Ike said, why wait to get your pie in the sky? You get it right now. You work on it. Hey.
You know, I don't need no pie. Just give me all the fruits.
That's
Cultivate those fruits, them juicy fruits. Until next time, we love you.
Bye.